Well, have you ever heard of BubbaTrading.com? I have, and I know who authors that is none other than Todd Horwitz. He's on the floor of the CME Group in Chicago. BubbaTrading.com. Love that name. Look at that. Bubba for president right there. You bet. All right, Todd, good to talk with you once again. Let's talk about the really bad side of the equation, and that's the cattle market today. We've been talking about various contracts going limit down on live cattle and feeders today. This is just getting almost out of hand. And boy, on the charts, this has to look just absolutely horrific.
Oh, we've come out now, punched out new lows, and I think this is important now, especially if you're trading. Okay, if you're a producer or whatever, it's a little bit different. But if you're trading these, you no longer want to be a seller yet, because we've now broken down. I would expect to see in the next day or two or three a large spike rally that you're going to want to sell into. You're going to want to look at, for example, I think in 188 in the feeders, I think it would be probably a good level, 138 to 140 in live. We're going lower here. You can see by the formation going out into time that prices continue to fall going all the way into next April in feeder cattle, and they start falling harder in April in live cattle. So I'm looking for a minimum of 130 in live, and I'm looking for probably the 160s in feeders. Now again, you have to remember that we all of a sudden just found all this supply in cold storage. What happened? How did this all of a sudden manufacture itself? But again, that's kind of what happens. You know, we're going into a slower time of year anyways. Prices are bad, markets are bad, and the economy is bad. So again, it would only lead to that the prices were too high and the actual consumer couldn't get to them.
Well, they always talk about the 5 stages of the buying and selling cycle, and so you're saying we're almost at that give-up stage, and maybe folks should maybe show a little patience, and you might see a little bit of a bounce, at least short-term then, I guess.
I think you'll definitely see a bounce. In fact, I'd almost go on a limb and guarantee a bounce back up a little bit. I'm certainly sure that there'll be a dead cat bounce because the shorts are going to want to take some profit at some point. And markets themselves, no matter what you're trading, don't go in one direction straight without stopping to give you an opportunity. Now that's always the key, is are you willing to take advantage of the opportunity? And what I don't want people to do is to get excited on the next rally because it's going to look so good, but that's typically bear market or short covering rallies look better than anything else. They look like you have to participate, and I would not. I'd be looking to sell into that rally.
All right, let's take a look at the live cattle trade. Limit down October, $3 lower, 133.22. On the feeder side, well, we have the nearby September going off the board tomorrow. Right. But October and November are both limit down. In fact, March is limit down. They're all $4.50 lower right now. On the lean hog trade, though, on the futures, we have October down 48 cents, December down 53 at 64.22. So they're holding up much, much better than the cattle trade. Are you optimistic on the hogs?
I am. In fact, my spread all along has been sell cattle, buy hogs. And I think now that we finally got into the December, I know we still have October left, but I'm looking into December, and we're down in the 64 level. That's where I want to be a buyer, because hogs now, when you go out to February, they're already trading in the 70s in February. So I want to look to be a buyer of hogs and still a seller of beef. I'm very positive on this space now. I've always been positive, but I got a little squeamish when we got to 70 in the October contract.
Yeah, it's interesting. $13 spread between the December and the late spring months. So, Todd, thanks for all the advice. Good stuff. Very excellent insight into the markets. Todd Horwitz, BubbaTrading.com. So, Abby, there you have it.